Mary, and in my head I was thinking about classic cocktails, so I was thinking, or mixed drinks, as Crispian's pointed out, Bloody Mary being one, and the other for me being a martini. And the minute I started thinking about martinis, I got onto the idea of vermouth, and I'll get Crispian to explain what vermouth brings to a martini. Not that we're going to make martinis now, but there's a really, even better, we're just drinking the vermouth, which is the most exciting part. So, talking again about how Australia's changed, and we've talked a little bit about licenses, we've talked a little bit about philosophy in terms of doing what we do best rather than we do most. We've talked a little bit about idealism in terms of not striving for perfection, but merely striving to strive, being a more laudable ambition than actually looking to be perfect. And the idea is, does perfect really exist? And if it does, is perfect that interesting? Or is it that one little flaw that makes something fantastic or fabulous? So one of the things that's also changing is the discovery and celebration. Mentioned gins, but vermouths, and what's happening now is there are 2 or 3 ostensibly, well, in fact this gentleman started off as a brewer and then became a winemaker, and now I suppose as a spirit creator. People making vermouths and integrating native Australian ingredients in order to make vermouth. Vermouth is essentially, in terms of a generic descriptor, what I call an aromatized wine. It's basically a wine base, and then ingredients are added to get the aromatized aspect. The original principal ingredient of vermouth being wormwood, and that was the classic French vermouth. But now we've got vermouths being made in Australia that have got native botanicals in them and make them all the more interesting.
We picked up on this particular vermouth amongst all the world of vermouth, and martinis actually aren't really much of a thing for us. People are actually drinking. We make quite a few, but
Me quite a few.
no, of course. But the reason I say that is that vermouth, in its own right, is becoming sought after as a drink.
Yeah.
And you'll see why. We hope that when you just have a look at this, the spirit, the wine base is fortified with the spirit. The alcohol is just brought up to 18 degrees of alcohol, roughly, Paul?
Yeah.
And in that process as well, prior to that, there is this steeping of aromatics through the wine base. Wormwood for sure. Bay is the really strong thing that we see a lot in white vermouth. The wine base here is Viognier, which in its own right has some
really
personality.
aromatic.
Yeah. And so I've picked some bay leaf from my garden again this morning as the garnish to this. So Paul and I agreed that before you walk around the corner and do the food thing, that vermouth, whilst it doesn't clean the palate up, it probably just changes the tone of your palate.
Yeah.
And probably gets you ready to eat. So in that sense, we feel that it's a really, really true aperitif. So I'll just finish these off. Yeah. Any other questions about vermouth?
Did you like this post? Well, there's 3 more ways to get Noodlies. Visit noodlies.com or go to Facebook, facebook.com/Noodlies, or YouTube, youtube.com/Noodlies Food Blog.